Welcome back to Studio F, where on Fast Hungry B, we'll step back to 1995 and review Seven. Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
What the fuck is in the box? It's Russell.
Welcome back to Fast Hungry B. I'm Willy B. I've got Kory back with me. Kory, how we doing, man?
Hi, Mom. No, I'm good.
So we got you
It's
here.
been a long day.
It's been a long day.
I'm so tired.
We did some hiking, we did some swimming, we
Yep.
did some football and basketball in a swimming pool.
Yeah.
It's been a day.
Yeah, it's been a day. It's been a day.
I feel like I smell horrible.
You do smell bad.
Do I?
Nah, I don't know.
No, that's fair.
Probably not. Anyway.
It's just hot too, man.
I see him as God. Get the fuck out of
But
here.
anyways, we're
Yeah.
going to step back to 1995, this week's poll winner, and review a movie we both adore, so this will be a fun one to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to review Seven here today.
Yeah.
David Fincher,
Yeah.
the man. Love that guy.
One of the better ones, I would say.
One of the better ones.
I'd say
one of the good
best.
guys.
One of the good guys. Unless
and-
he did something awful, and we'll find out tomorrow. Then in that case, I never liked him.
Yeah, same. No, he's actually one of my favorites. But
Yeah,
cast-wise, we've got loaded.
A lineup.
I mean,
Yeah.
we got Brad Pitt, we got Morgan Freeman, we've got Kevin Spacey. Never liked that guy.
Never liked him.
Great in this movie.
Yeah,
We
sure.
got Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah.
And those are the big four.
Yeah.
But we'll start with the good.
Mhm.
And this is where I'm going to stick
Mm-hmm.
for this entire episode. I don't have anything ill to say about this movie.
Hey, no
But-
spoilers. But same.
It's one of those movies, man, that
It might be perfect.
it's damn near.
That might be perfect. If we're doing a mystery detective thriller,
Yeah.
that's my bag, dude.
Yeah.
That's
And Fincher, he's one of those directors, I've mentioned it in movies that I've reviewed of his before. He's so good at creating tension,
my God.
and
It's creating a mood.
he is really good at setting the mood with, like you said, creating the mood, but setting the mood with the use of color, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, I have things to say.
The use of red.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said it before in movies like The Lost Boys that I reviewed on here, The Crow. When you can use red against dark scenes like this movie does and those movies I just named,
Oh, dude.
I'm in.
Yeah, for sure.
It's one of my favorite feels to a film.
Dude, it's dude, anything that has that vibe of like, what is it called whenever you put film and whenever you develop film in
Yeah.
a dark room?
Yeah.
Anything that has that vibe, I am in.
Yeah. and
What's your
that's this
background
movie.
on this, by the way? Where did you start watching this?
So
This is a trap, so I can say mine. Go ahead.
that's fair. So for me, the first time I watched Seven was actually only a few years ago. It was post Letterboxd. So my first time was after getting Letterboxd, which I got at the end
Cool.
of 21. So
Interesting.
So it's within the last 3 years I've watched this for the first time.
Yep.
It was actually recommended to me by our buddy Mike's dad, Chris Morazza. Shout out Chris.
Oh,
shout
cool.
out Michael.
Yeah.
It
Shout
was
out.
recommended by him.
Victoria's Pizza. Shout out.
Yeah. He said that it was one of his favorites. So I finally got around to watching it, and I was like, I can see why.
Yeah.
And this was,
Yeah.
I believe I was really in a Fincher kick too, because I had seen some of Fincher's films before Seven, like Fight Club and Zodiac and Social Network. Like I'd seen all those already.
Yeah.
But it was like I had watched a couple of those, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna watch Seven, and then that set me even more into a rabbit hole of Fincher.
Interesting.
And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
truly like watching this was probably around the time he became like when I say. You talk about top 5 directors. He probably entered the conversation when I was having this watch through that included my first watch of Seven. So,
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, I was curious. That's funny. I watched it in somewhere, I guess it would be around,
I was 4. No.
if I had to guess when that was 4. No, somewhere in 2021 as well.
Oh, really?
Probably towards the fall season, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
And that is because during this time, or, no, sorry, 2020, which
Okay.
is a fun year. We all know
Yeah.
that one.
Good year to watch movies.
Yeah, it was. I had a projector set up in the basement. Projector hitting against my parents' basement wall, whatever. It's cold down there. It's vibey. It's the greatest
Felt like
thing
you're
ever.
in the movie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And right around this time is whenever Matt Reeves, director of The Batman, started talking about his inspirations for The Batman.
yeah.
And he distinctively said Seven was probably his biggest inspiration. So I was like, well, I got to see what this is all about.
Yeah.
And I bought the movie on DVD before then, but it took me a minute to watch it, and then
Well,
you
if
know
anything's gonna get you, it's
I had plenty of time during that time. Yeah. And I was blown away immediately. I immediately was like, this but a Batman movie? I was like, this is the thing that I've been waiting for my entire life.
Batman, the Batman is also in that same category with the feels like the dark room, the reds.
Absolutely.
And you can definitely see the inspiration.
The inspiration's so heavy it's not even funny.
But I'm here for it, man.
Oh, specifically like that mayoral whenever the Riddler kills the mayor. I swear that set is ripped straight from Seven. The lighting, the lamps, the warm lighting against like a dark, gritty. Oh, the grittiness, the noir of it all.
To me, it just feels Fincher-esque and you know, I don't know how connected Reeves and Fincher are, but like the way he also went about the Riddler felt very Zodiac.
Yes. Yeah. That was it. Sorry. Yeah, that was his direct inspiration for the Riddler.
Okay.
Was the Zodiac killer, and
so
specifically the movie Zodiac. So. Yes.
Big Fincher fan.
Yeah.
That's why Reeves is awesome, because he's smart.
You have to be an idiot to not be a
Speaking
Fincher
of which,
fan.
we've got a script.
Boys, we're back.
We're back.
We're back,
so
baby.
Back.
We're so back.
But back to Seven.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just
incredible.
I remember my first watch, though. It was me and Rosie downstairs in the living room. And like I said, I was in a Fincher kick, watching a lot of his movies, whether it was my first time or rewatches, and I just really dove in and watched a bunch of his stuff. And that was like the moment where I was like, yeah, this guy's probably one of my top 5 favorite directors.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
At least from filmography alone. Like,
what's weird is I think I watched Zodiac first.
Social Network was the first Fincher movie I ever watched.
Oh no! You know what? I guess The Social Network was mine too.
Yeah.
Because I watched it in high school for whatever reason.
And then I watched Zodiac, and it was so funny because I remember my first time watching Zodiac too. Getting off topic, but anyways, we're already talking about it. I remember my first time watching Zodiac because I looked up the Zodiac killer while I was watching it, and it was the day they thought they found the guy.
Oh,
remember when that was
whenever they were like,
that
news
day.
has broke. Really?
Yeah.
That's weird, man.
Yeah.
That's a weird premonition.
Yeah. Crazy lineup.
Yeah, crazy lineup. Yeah. No better way to do it but Fincher, baby.
Yeah. Fincher's the man. But yeah, in this movie, like you said, I'll never forget that first watch. I've probably watched it, in the past 4 years, at least 5 to 7 times.
Oh yeah.
It's probably a once a year at least.
Oh yeah. I'm
this movie
in the same boat. Seven's one of those movies that like you remember the first watch so vividly that you're always chasing the high of the first watch.
Yeah.
Which is impossible.
I got the box. I got the box tattoo.
You got the box, dude.
So it obviously hit me. But I think something like, we've talked about obviously Fincher and the direction and just how he sets up the tension and the moods and the lighting and all of that is great. But it is also, the acting.
Oh my, yeah, absolutely.
You got Pitt and Freeman, you know what you're getting.
I think this is the first time I went. Like, I think this is the first time I watched a movie with Brad Pitt, and I didn't just go, look at this handsome idiot, whatever. By the way, I was 19 in 2020, so, like, reasonably so. Everyone's like, oh, handsome Brad Pitt, who cares, whatever. It's the first time I was like, oh, that's why people like him.
He can act.
Other than the being a hot thing, which is true. Attractive man. Yeah. Kind of a prick, but, yeah. Yes, fucking great actor.
Dude, and him and Freeman are so good together as, like, the cop that's seen it all and the new hot shot, their dynamic is so good. Gwyneth Paltrow, I love her character and how she like so quickly connects.
Yeah, she's the heart of the story.
Oh,
really,
for sure.
She's the only like passionate part about the movie or somebody with compassion.
Yeah,
because I mean, both Morgan Freeman and what the fuck is Brad Pitt. Neither of them, for their own different reasons, one's like really jaded and has been doing it for a long time. The other one's a hotshot and just doesn't really give a shit because he just wants to move up the ranks.
Yeah.
And she's the only one that actually has compassion.
Yeah.
And it's crippling what happens.
Then unfortunately, Spacey, he was
good.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
He's good. He's not even in the movie that much.
No,
which
is memorable as hell.
Yeah, which is incredible to think about when you go back. Other than whenever you go by him really quickly and he's running away from Brad Pitt. He's really in like one scene.
Yeah, the
like 1 to 2 scenes. Yeah, and it's my favorite part is not even the box or anything. It's that moment where he walks into the police precinct and just screams "Detective!" like almost like he's like dipshit. I'm right here. Like
covered in blood too.
Dude, yeah, and he burned his fingertips off and
Yeah.
And oh my goodness, yeah,
dude,
what a performance from an absolute piece of shit.
Yeah.
What a performance.
Had the chance to meet him, passed on it.
Yeah, me too.
But
want to hang out? No.
I'm cool. No, the acting is fantastic in this movie, and continuing with the good, the concept of like the 7 deadly sins, I dig a lot too. Like,
see, that's what I'll never forget the reveal of going, this is why it's called 7.
Yeah.
Because you don't know.
Yeah.
And it actually took me, I actually didn't catch on to that, even though I grew up incredibly religious, until he's like, it's because it's 7 deadly sins. I went, oh, fuck. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's cool too, like, seeing how, like, when you see the kills and, like, you know, you get the gluttony and you get, like, all of that, it, to me, is, all of the kill discoveries is pretty cool in that sense. I think it's a cool little, like, you know, just tie-in to this crime thriller detective film, and I dig it.
Oh my god.
And it also fits like that feel too, like 7 deadly sins with that red dark room feel, like it it works.
And also the whole movie, like, and it talking about inspirations for the Batman, it's raining in like every fucking scene heavily.
Dude, I love movies that have a bunch of rain. The Crow.
Dude, yes. Oh my god.
Can't rain all the time.
Literally
man.
any Dark City, we'll get to that.
We will.
Dude, constantly raining, that to me, a noir film at its very core, you got to have a shit ton of rain. That's like basis number one.
The thing I love about it too is like those movies usually are very heavy, and all the movies we just named, they have heavy subject matter.
Yeah.
But the rain almost adds a layer of comfort.
It does. It makes you feel snugly with a blanket when you're watching.
Yeah.
Even though it's dark.
Like
creepy.
You watch The Crow and you're like, man, he lost his girlfriend and all this, and then the rain's going on, and you're just like, you get that "it can't rain all the time" quote, and it's like comforting.
Something about that is comforting.
Yeah. And then in this one, it's the same thing. Like, it's just that rain's almost like you said, you're wrapping up in a blanket, like putting a candle on. Like,
if we're talking great lines in movies, the last line at the end of the movie when the sun kind of sets and whenever he's like, you know, Hemingway said that the world is a good place and worth fighting for. He was like, the second part I agree with. Yeah. I think that's so cold and such a great way to end that movie.
Yeah.
So
very well written.
The tone is amazing. Well written. I'm sure there are ways to poke holes in it, but usually if I rewatch a movie, even The Batman, my favorite movie, on rewatches, I can poke holes and still, like, it won't make me love the movie any less.
Yeah.
7, I've never, like, even had a thought of, like, oh, that's actually kind of weird. I never thought about that. I don't really have any holes I can think of in that movie. I'm sure they're there, but...
Oh, yeah, I mean...
Every movie does, but...
Dude...
the lighting specifically in that movie. Like, we're talking set design. Everything's so cluttered. Like, whenever at the library, I love the books are just scattered everywhere. Every scene is just flooded with lamps for no reason.
I mean, set design definitely goes into the kill scenes too, like the kitchen and gluttony, and the bedroom one with the murder, and the discovering the body with the guy that was like just sitting.
Oh,
there.
the sloth.
Yes,
sloth.
And like all of the
he's alive still, isn't he? I forgot that he like, and he's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like every crime scene, like when you're talking about the set design, I think is very well done.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man, it's
definitely, it's just, Fincher's was just one of those guys that just know how to immediately, he sets a tone. He sets a hard tone.
Yeah, it does.
And then also, like, let's talk like sound design a little bit, because there's some pretty crunchy sound design in here too. Pretty crisp sound design. The music is great and incredibly unnerving.
Yeah.
Like the intro, I've always loved that, like the credits, the title sequence or whatever. You get his ledgers where he's written it a bunch, and the Riddler, you know, where he's written it a bunch, and there's a bunch of just fucked up pictures that, like, it's weird because it's almost like you see very Fight Clubbian in that, because, you know, in Fight Club where you get the flashes of Brad Pitt's, you know, Tyler Durden here and there and whatever, and it's got that kind of vibe to it, and it's so raw. This movie's like the most raw movie I can think of.
Yeah. You know, it's a movie that came out recently that the intro reminds me of, like, the opening credits. The Black Phone.
Oh yeah.
It kind of mimics 7.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I like something like that,
tone,
you know? Yeah.
See, this is always the tone that I like. It's the thing about these kinds of movies, especially these dark mystery thrillers. Again, it's my, like, favorite genre of movie, but the problem is it's easy to make them boring and fuck it up. Like, you really gotta... I think it takes a very meticulous director to actually nail that, because you have to have vision. If you don't have vision, it's not gonna work.
A movie like this to the average moviegoer might seem long.
But
if you're really into it, like the attention to detail we get from this movie, like we've already mentioned, a lot of the technical stuff. Like it's just when you're talking crime thriller, it's one of the best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When you're talking serial killer thriller, I mean, like the only movie in that category I could even think of putting ahead of it, Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I think they might be 1A, 1B type of situation because I love them both. I'd probably say Silence of the Lambs is 1, but sure. But this isn't too far behind, and and then I think it's kind of a step down, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, Longlegs was when we got that recently. That was very, very, very well done.
And even then, that had its moments here and there. Where it's like,
it's definitely a step down from a movie like this.
But it's still great. You see the inspiration.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, for sure. And also for a movie that's like, here's a fun fact I saw the other day. How many kills do you see in the movie?
Like done.
How many people do you see? One. It's very end. Whenever he kills John Doe. That's the only time there's like actual action. Other than that time where he's chasing him or whatever, everything else is just dialogue.
You're following along on this case.
Suspense. I mean, dude, and also this is one of those movies that, again, this is really hard to do. You have to have a great editor for this. Great editing, by the way.
Oh, for sure.
To make one of these movies work, you have to have a phenomenal editor. Is silence. There's moments of silence. There's no music, whatever. It's just sound design. It's specific. It only works one way. Yeah. This movie really works like one way.
Yeah.
If you had Shane Black walk in and try to do Shane Blackisms, it wouldn't work. The nice guys vibe with this, you can't.
Great movie.
Great movie, yeah, for sure. The Predator 2018, watched it last night. Not a great movie.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You watched that last night?
I did.
I need to rewatch it. I haven't seen this. I watched it when it came out in theaters. It's not. I know. I just need to rewatch it.
Yeah, whatever.
I want non-high school Will. Well, wait, that was 2018, so non-college Will to get his eyes on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's you can. Anyway.
We're gonna. But no, I get what you're saying though. Mm-hmm. I also thought Zodiac's also a really good serial killer thriller. That's probably right behind these ones.
That's what I thought you were gonna say. But then you're like, oh yeah, Silence of the Lambs. I've heard of that one.
Yeah. So those are probably the top three though for me.
Yeah.
And then, like, outside of that, I'd really have to think. Like, Longlegs just hit me because of recency.
Yeah.
Like, it's still fresh.
Yeah, we'll see how that holds up, yeah.
Yeah. But, like, Summer of Sam hits me. That's definitely a step down. It's still a good movie, but it's not near the level of these three.
I mean, considering this movie's also, like, 20 years old now.
Yeah. Well, 30.
Or close to.
30 this year.
Or, fuck, yeah, I meant 30. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, 30 years old. Jesus.
I mean, happy 30th, by the way.
Happy 30th.
It is 30 this year, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Can you imagine watching this in theaters in that era?
Dude.
Because
I think about that all because
Sons of Lambs, you got the
anybody that watches this channel knows I love modern stuff, but the root of my movie existence is before I was alive.
Yeah.
And so I think about that all the time. What movies would have been kick ass in theaters? Like, obviously seeing the Back to the Futures, the Lost Boys, the movies I absolutely adore, but Seven would also be on that list. Like, seeing Seven in theaters, like leaving theaters and standing in our little circle after Seven. Like,
that'd be one of those ones where it's like
you're there for a couple hours.
You're there for a couple hours, and also it's like I don't smoke, but I probably would have asked somebody for a cigarette.
Yeah,
just so I could like lean against the wall and just be like, "Oh my fucking god." Yeah. It's I don't know, man. Just if anything, the vibe is obviously what I'm getting at here that hits, but. It's just so meticulous.
It'll never be the same, but that is what makes me really happy with like when Cinemark does re-releases and stuff like that. Like when we got to see 78 Halloween, obviously it's not like getting to watch that opening night, but like that was pretty kick-ass to watch 78 Halloween in theaters.
Seeing it on a silver screen, because sometimes I
like the Big Lebowski. Our first watch of the Big Lebowski was in theaters, you know.
Sometimes I tend to forget for some reason. I had this thought today that sometimes I have to remind myself that. Like, when movies aren't made, it's not made with the anticipation of, like, oh, I make this, and then it gets put on a DVD, and then you have it forever. The intention is for you. They make it for the movie screen, not for you to be able to watch it whenever you want after. They don't really. I mean, obviously they want high DVD sales or whatever because that impacts them getting jobs and stuff. But aside from that, they don't give a shit about that. They mostly give a shit about like
the box
watch
office,
it when it's in the actual theater. Like, I want you to experience that.
Oh, they're not going to market a Blu-ray before they market the theater release.
No.
Like, coming to a theater near you is what you hear in marketing, not get it on Blu-ray in 6 weeks.
Get it on Blu-ray if you wait 6 months.
Yeah, like...
But you can watch it next week if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
it's intended to be watched that way. And this is one of those movies that I'm like, even though I had a great watch with it, and maybe even it was better than it would have been in a theater, probably not. But, like... This is still one that I'm like, I bet watching it in a theater would do something.
We'll have to keep our eyes out. I wonder if they'll do a 30th for it.
They did. They announced it. They did. I think they are, because I remember seeing a post about it.
That'd be sick. We're definitely going.
That they were definitely going to try to do that this year. So.
I know in August they like to hit a lot of the 40th, which I'm super excited for because 85 was just absolutely loaded in my opinion. I know they'll do Back to the Future. I know they'll do Weird Science. I know they'll do all those fun movies from Breakfast Club. But sometimes they hit the 30 too. I mean... so I'm hoping that we get a little... I know 25 and 40 are the big two they like to hit.
I definitely saw something. It's either a theater re-release or they're coming out with a new Steelbook. It's one or the other. I'll have to look into that.
Both would be cool, but
yeah,
if it gets theaters, we're definitely hitting that.
Absolutely,
dude. I've thought about like just like you know how like they do birthday parties at Cinemark.
Oh my god,
renting it out and just like hooking up a Fire Stick and just having a marathon of some movies we love or something like that.
That would be awesome.
Imagine doing like a Fincher triple feature in Cinemark.
Oh my god,
like just throwing on like Se7en, Zodiac, and Social Network and just watching all three of them.
That would be so weird. To be like mystery, thriller, noir, murder mystery situation, and then be like, two dudes who
Zuckerberg
who argue over fucking who owns Facebook.
Yeah, I mean maybe we could pick that. Gone Girl maybe be the third one. I was throwing Social Network.
Fuck yeah!
I was thinking Social. I was throwing Social Network
Gone
there
Girl.
for Brennan.
I've been reading Gone Girl.
Yeah,
I have.
Man, Fincher, man.
Yeah, it's hard to. This is also what sucks about some of these reviews, even though I was so excited to review this one. This ground is incredibly worn. Everyone knows how great this movie is, but I can only say how it makes me feel.
So that's the fun part. Yeah. That's the fun part of this series I've been doing is obviously it was with the intent that if I do one a week, 70 through 2022, it takes a whole year and I'm reviewing a different movie from every year. Some movies I've already seen, that's fine, but it's also given me the opportunity to watch some that I haven't seen, you know, which is cool. But it's been cool in the sense that when one of those movies that wins that you do love, it's never a bad thing to just shoot the shit for 30 minutes and just talk about how much you love a movie.
You love it. Sometimes, like you were talking about with the Grandmaster Chris, sometimes you just gotta glaze a movie.
Like when Days and Confused won, I was like, anybody that knows me knows how I feel about that movie. But like getting to tell all of you guys like how much I love a movie and like
it's different
what it does for me and how much I watch it. And Seven's one of those movies. It's just it hit me the first time I watched it. I probably watched it at least once a year, and it
feels crazy that we're only just now getting around to this one, but
yeah,
you got till the end of time to.
We're in the 90s, man.
Yeah,
that's crazy. July will take us to 99, and then we're in the 21st century. Come August.
The good news is there's a couple good options per year, so it's not like it's like that's it.
Oh, look, I was looking ahead at 96, and it's like I could put Scream on there, I could put Fargo on there, I could put there was another big one that I'm drawing a blank on, but there was like 8 that I'm like,
hitters.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck, how do I pick 4?
Late 90s gets big, like Good Will Hunting's late 90s.
Oh yeah.
Big Lebowski. There's some fun ones that could be coming up right around the corner. So, but no, 7 won, and I was really happy to see that because, like you said, it's one of the greats, man.
Talk about it, yeah, absolutely.
But anything else in the good?
I don't think I do. I literally think we've covered all ground of. The set PAs, I'm sure, were great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Shout out them.
I'm sure. Yeah, shout out.
So, nothing in the matter or the bad?
Nope.
We'll hop over to our final thoughts and ratings. What do you want to leave off with 7, and what do you give it out of 10?
It's the greatest thing ever happened to humanity.
Yeah.
Simply. It's the greatest thing ever. No, I mean, it's great. Like I said, this is my favorite kind of movie. One that's moody, noir. It's very heavily, the fall-ish.
Yeah.
even if it might not be set in the fall, but it very much
feels
like
that
it,
way.
Yeah. And it's just one of those ones that you watch and you immediately are like, I will be getting that on DVD.
Yeah.
And for the record, if they have a better version than DVD, I'll get that.
Yeah.
It's just incredible. I'm always so happy every time I get to rewatch this movie, which is not enough. Anyway, glazing out of the way, what a film. Fincher's the man. It's a 10.
I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go 10 out of 10 as well.
Yeah.
It's up there. We didn't even really mention the what's in the box scene when we talked about this review. You probably, any review you really watch on YouTube, they really probably go hard on that. But that's what I'm talking about, like with how much I love even the build up into that. But
it's hard to...
While we're still talking, I am going to mention though, what's in the box is one of the most iconic lines ever.
The rollout of this movie, the mystery of it, especially the first time you watch it, works so well. Mm-hmm. And you really, there's a part of you that knows it might be going in that direction. You're really hoping it's not. And just Morgan Freeman's reaction alone from how he steps back from the box after he opens it, you're like, oh, yeah, that's Gwyneth Paltrow, isn't it?
And then
see, that's also great because it's not just he sits there and stares and then goes, bam. It's the thinking about it and it's such a real reaction of him just going back and going, oh, God.
yeah.
What do you do? Because that's your whole life literally in an instant is like completely shattered.
What's in the box?
Gwyneth Paltrow's head. Or
I agree.
Or Frosted Flakes. Nigga damn. One of those two.
My uncle
Shout out 2013.
My uncle thinks it's the embryo.
Oh, it could be. I guess they don't specifically say her head's in the box, but he does say, like, I cut off her pretty head. That doesn't mean he put it in the box.
That's fair. I think it's the head. My argument with him is always, how would he know that's his? Because she never told him.
She didn't know he was pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how would that hit him as hard? I feel like the head would hit him harder.
That's true. And honestly, if I were Morgan Freeman, I probably would have opened it one. And maybe I'm just a dumbass. I don't know what an embryo looks like, but I would have went,
what the hell?
I would have looked back like, what is this? Tell me.
Hey, John. Mr. Doe.
Mr. Doe? I don't know what the fuck this is.
Yeah.
Maybe put a label.
Yeah. Label maker. Embryo.
Embryo. He goes,
oh. Ooh.
Don't look.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But no, I think it's the head.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, 10 out of 10 for
what
sure.
What an ending. Yeah.
What a movie. What a beginning, middle, and end.
What everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
That'll do it. 4-7. Kory, thanks for coming on, my man.
Thank you.
Thank you all for watching. If you like what you're watching, check out some other videos. Hit the subscribe button or follow the social links down below. The 1996 poll is coming your way in a few hours, so make sure you check that out and vote. And winner will be selected Thursday. And as always, we'll go up next Monday. But we will talk to you all soon. Peace.